Appreciate it. Enjoy the book.
Hi, we're here in Georgetown, Texas today. My name is Joseph Albert Gorski, the author of Government 2.0. Won't you join me today as we go through the questions and answers regarding my book, Government 2.0, and anything you'd like to know about the book, about me. We'll try to answer it in this film.
Maybe she has questions for you.
Oh, sure.
So, this is my husband,
Hi.
Joe.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Liz.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah, she just told me about your book and about how it has great reviews and
Yeah.
you know, you talk about technology and
Yeah, technology is part of the book, and part of the book is about protecting our rights, because currently the government uses a lot of heavy-handed tactics to force people into doing things, and if we just allow it to happen, it's going to continue to happen more and more, but we need to have protection. So what I'm trying to convey to the readers is that the system has not been working for them. They have to learn how to change the system for the better so that everybody gets a fair chance and a fair shot at prosperity. I came up with the title Government 2.0 because it reminds me of the computer systems. When you have an upgrade, you have a 2.0 from the 1.0, and that's what we're hoping for here, an upgrade, because the people want change, the people demand change, we need change to update, to work for a new and more complex world. The motivation for me to write this book is partly personal, as I've seen how the government policies affect my life and affect the lives of all the people I love.
She would like to know what the book is about, so I told her,
Okay.
My name's Ashley.
Ashley?
A-S-H-L-E-Y? Just making sure, because everybody spells different. So, want to make sure we get it spelled right. Otherwise, you're like, wait, this ain't.
Government 2.0 signifies the change from the old ways of doing government to the new ways where the people have a say in what is done. Right now, the government is like the boss of us. The banking system is at the heart of the problems in the American economy. The banking system is diluting our money supply and causing inflation. This inflation caused by our banking system is really crippling the American people. They're losing their purchasing power rapidly. There's shortages. You can't get any interest on your money in the bank. People are resorting to gambling in the stock market and gambling online just to try to make ends meet. I don't think the people will ever give their faith back to the government because it's been broken so many times. The government would have to tell us the truth about how bad things are, that half the government spending comes from deficit spending, borrowing money, and money printing.
about it. So
Okay.
I'll meet Mr.
Hi.
Joseph and Ms.
Hi,
Gorski.
Mr. Joseph.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
Over here too.
You want me to shake your hand?
Yeah.
Just put it down. So nice to meet you.
Me too.
This book was written from the perspective of the average American citizen, how he sees the world and how the world is affected. It's not written for somebody who's an elite like Jeff Bezos. My target audience is basically everybody in the middle class, the lower class, working class, anybody who's affected by the policies of the government. I do see a lot of encouraging signs that people are rebelling against mandates of the government, where they're telling people what to do and how to do it and what you could put in your body. The alternative news media is out there. There's medical breakthroughs out there. There's a lot of positives that are coming through. We're in the middle of a tipping point right now. We've got all kinds of changes taking place, and when you're in the middle of something, it's hard to tell what is going on. You have to look back on it, and so I think in about 2 or 3 years we'll look back on this time and say, yeah, that was the time when things really changed for the better. The vaccine mandates is part of the tipping point right now. It seems to be the issue that's really galvanizing people. There's people that are willing to lose their jobs, high-paying jobs, over this issue. The government has been debasing the money through the banking system, and this is causing similar situations that we've seen in the past with like the Roman Empire, where it started debasing their currency over a period of 200 years, except we're doing it much faster. Germany, after World War I, they debased their currency to the point where you needed a wheelbarrow of money to buy a loaf of bread. Venezuela, countries like that where they're have really high inflation right now, and people are eating out of the garbage because the country's destabilized politically and economically. It was once one of the richest countries in the world. Now it's going downhill fast. I see the alternative media changing the mainstream media from the outside in, because the mainstream media depends on their advertising revenue obviously from major pharmaceuticals and everything, and if they start losing market share to alternative media and people on YouTube and people expressing their opinion online or from other small news outlets, they're going to have to change to adapt to that. Some people might be wondering why the book doesn't talk about the Trump administration or the current pandemic. This book was actually written before that, but the ideas have become more and more relevant as time has gone on, and a lot of things are coming to pass that was talked about in the book. The Trump administration did not change my perspective on anything I wrote in this book. It just reinforced the idea that people were upset, so they elected a guy with no experience just because they want to try something different. And the book conveys that the people are upset and they want something that's somebody who's perceived as an outsider, so they took a chance on Trump. The Biden administration just is more of the same. Really, the presidents don't have as much power as people think they do. The banking system has most of the power, and there's people pushing the strings and the buttons behind the scenes. So my opinions between Trump and Biden and what's going on in Washington is all pretty much the same stuff. The tone of the book was to try to bring people together, not to divide people. There's so many books out there where they're trying to talk to the right, talk to the left, and divide people. I'm just trying to bring people together. So that's the tone. I have a conciliatory tone. Yeah, the book is all about trying to get people to think for themselves, not to preach to people and say, hey, this is the way you should think. I want people to think for themselves and come up with their own ideas. Nothing I wrote in the book is perfect. It's just throwing ideas out there to get people to think about the way things are. It's not about conformity. My thought process while writing this book, I was trying to picture the reader in my mind, him reading the book, him or her reading the book. What are they thinking about? How do I keep them interested? Using simple, down-to-earth language, not using like technical terms like an economist might use or a professor might use. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of the reader. Yeah, I think that sometimes they intentionally use jargon to confuse us. They'll be trying to talk about what their policy is, and they use double speak. It's sort of like a movie, 1984. There'd be something, they put a banner out there, and it's actually the opposite of what they really mean. They'll say like Ministry of Peace, and it's about war or something like that. So, you know, they'll use terms like Affordable Care Act, but your health insurance still goes up in price, or, you know, there's all this double speak, or sometimes they'll even say in plain language what they want to do, but you don't quite understand what they're getting at. So it's just to confuse people and make it sound good and hopefully they get reelected and people don't lose confidence in them. Yeah, I think a lot of this double speak and confusing language is to defend the current policies, which are enriching the top 1 or 2% of the population and the elites that support them. And they don't want the people to understand what's really going on, because they fear the people, because the people have the numbers, but they want the people confused and divided so they can keep enriching themselves. There's a lot of government books out there where people want to write about government policy, and they're written by ex-government officials, but they often have a bias. They might be defending their actions or their administration that they came out of, or even general government policy. But I'm writing my book just from the regular guy's perspective, so I'm not looking to put in biases. I'm just looking to try to get to the truth and get people to think about issues.
Okay. Take out the first. Can you fold this prize so she knows that's her? And it's going to
Carlisle? Castleman?
And he just won $25 here at Jamaican's Food. $25 gift card for here. So it's going to be, you already know. Thank you. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy yourself and enjoy the book and enjoy your dinner party.
I definitely will. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Come.
Joe, do you Google yourself?
I have Googled myself a few times just because I want to see what's out there with my books. And I found out that there's a lot of Joseph Gorskis out there, so I purposely use my full middle name here because I don't want confusion. The biggest thing I learned about the pandemic is that you really can't shut the economy down. It just causes too many disruptions and too much pain for people. You have to keep moving along and just do your best. If people need to social distance or wear a mask, or that's one thing, but you should not shut people down, shut businesses down, ruin businesses just because there's a pandemic going on. People have to have the freedom to do what they want to do or need to do. In the beginning of the pandemic, it didn't have any adverse effect on my family that I noticed, but in the last 6 to 9 months, with the inflation and the shortages, it's really having an effect on the family. My purchasing power, my paycheck has been reduced greatly. Everything you could think of is up in price quite a bit. Housing, especially, gasoline, food. So everybody in America much has taken a pay cut with this pandemic. And as far as my family with the pandemic, we had to spend a little more time just talking about politics more than we normally. You just go about your lives, and people don't really talk too much about what's going on in the world with the politics. At least you try to avoid that. And the pandemic has forced people to think about issues, including my family. Okay. Currently, I don't have a daily habit of writing, but when I start on a book, I like to continue, have a kind of a one-track mind. I like to just keep going from step A to B. I don't like to leave things hanging, so I'll get really intense and write something for a few months, then take a break maybe and won't write for a little while. So that's how I do my writing. It's not daily, though. I really enjoyed the book signing because I get to relate with the average person and then gets a little feedback. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback where people relate to what I'm writing, and they're saying, yeah, that makes sense, and it's like clicking in their body, clicking, and they get to think about things. I just want people to think about things. I'm not trying to upset people or divide people. In a lot of ways, I feel I'm accomplished. I've got a book out there. I've got promotion going on. But until it really reaches a big audience, I don't feel fully accomplished. I haven't really got to the point yet where I'm reading and reviewing and replying to comments. I'm just getting my website up and running. I don't have everything all set yet, but I think I would enjoy that interaction with people. I'm not too active on social media because you can only give quick, short answers, and people often will misunderstand you. So what I've done recently is just give very, very, very short answers, very quick answers to people, so I'm not misunderstood. If I see something I like, I say I like it, give a 2-word answer, like that's great, I agree with that, and that's as far as I go, because otherwise, if you start explaining yourself, you get misunderstood, so I don't do that. I enjoy working with authors press. They're able to be blunt with you and honest, but not take up too much of your time, and they give good advice, and they don't force you to do anything that you don't want to do or can't do. the whole experience of the book signing and the filming, it's something that gets me out of my comfort zone. It's something to learn from. It's been a great experience interacting with people. I really enjoyed it very much. Well, first of all, I dedicate this book to my wife and children and family. But I also dedicate it to all the hardworking American people who are struggling right now through hard times. And I hope that everybody can come out of this a little bit better.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I'm Joe's wife, and he's the author of the book. And he's a great husband. He's a supporter of the family and likes to have fun. And he's a really awesome writer. He likes to write his books and give his opinions and make the world a better place because of it. I found his book to be very interesting and quick, short read, and gives his opinions, and hopes that others enjoy just as much.
Hi, my name is Pam White, and I'm a friend of Joe and Brenda Gorski. I have been friends with them for about 4 years now, and they have helped out with so many things with me. But let me tell you about them, okay? Now, here's Joe. I find this man who had written this book to be one of the most awesomest father figure, husband to his wife. When he talks about his wife, oh my God, you see stars in his eyes. They've been married for 33 years, had 6 kids and everything. I mean, it's just awesome of what he does. He provides for his family. He's been doing that. Can you imagine? 6 kids. Yes, that's what I said. Wow. Okay. And Brenda, oh my God, another writer in his family. She is a poet, and we call her Pepper the Poet, you know. But anyway, about Brenda, she's a mom. She goes out of her way. She is so kind. When people come to her, talk with her, my goodness, this woman will go out of her way to make sure that she can help you. It's just amazing about these two, how they came together. And it's just amazing. You'll have to read his book, Government 2.0, because that is a fascinating book. I mean, oh my God, just to be talking about the government, what we the people need and need to change, because our government is trying to take over. They're trying to take over our lives, but we said no more. And God has given this man such wisdom to be able to write this book years ago, and for it to be coming out right now and making it such an incredible movement. So you can buy this book from Arthur's Press. You can get it from Barnes & Nobles. You can get it through Target and so many others. Just look it up online. All you have to do is just type it online, Google it, and just say Government 2.0 by Joseph Albert Gorski. I almost forgot his name, his middle name at least. But anyway, it's a great book. It's a great read. It's a short read, and you're going to enjoy it. And then when you read it, you're going to say, wait a minute, it's time to change the world. And that's what he wants to do. So people out there, my friends, family, get the book. It's awesome.
Well, my message to the people out there is, please get this book, because you can learn a lot of things. You may not agree with everything, or you might have different ideas yourself, but it just gets people thinking. And I want to get people thinking. I want to get people to use a sports analogy that we're all on the same team, and we want to learn from each other and support each other. This is Joseph Albert Gorski, the author of Government 2.0, and I hope you really enjoyed my little mini interview and mini book signing I did today. I enjoyed it very much myself, and I hope to help people's lives and help to make the world a little bit better place because of my input.